at 10 o'clock.
Recording.
Recording in progress.
Thank you, Chris. We have 3 meetings to talk about.
Where are we starting?
Well, it's just a quick review on the annual meeting. Pretty much self-explanatory. All officers will be given a chance to say something. All committee chairs, remember you need to have a report, a yearly report.
Do you want one for the newsletter?
Maybe. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I guess you could give a quick. You know, when's the next one coming out?
Usually, what the annual meeting is, there'll be people that are never there
Yeah,
that
that'd be a
are
good
brought
idea.
up to speed, so they wouldn't necessarily hear what you might say during the year.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea just to say, let us know when the next one's coming out.
Okay.
And also tell them, I guess, if they didn't see the last one, they can see it online or pick up a copy.
Okay.
I don't have to say anything about the ad hoc, the
Yeah, I think you
operation.
do.
Yeah.
Of course you do. People need to know that there's a new manual.
Well, you just,
Okay, I was thinking.
you know, this year we
Yeah.
finished up the news, you know,
Okay.
the operations and.
Chris, are
News
those
manual.
2 new manuals online now?
I don't think I've put them up yet. I'll put them up today.
Okay. All right, just a quick thing on that.
Okay.
Marv, you can say something about, you know, changing the documents.
Sure.
I know we're not using that, but it's a good thing to have where it is.
I can do that in 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, exactly, that's what I'm saying, just give you something to say.
If it can be submitted in writing, it would be appreciative, because I'm probably out of the meeting with the vote counters at that time. And so, for the minute's sake, I need copies so I can put it in the minutes.
Okay,
Just
so-
a paragraph, whatever,
so
just
this-
email
Not a
it to
problem.
me.
Not a problem.
So
And
this
there's always
agenda
next
does
year.
leave off the election.
No, it does not.
It says elect officers.
No. You are not, you're 1 meeting ahead of us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
Never mind.
Just so people understand.
mind.
Direct.
Just so people understand, the way the state requires it is that Steve will call the meeting to order, and will call for any last ballots, and then he closes
The voting.
the voting.
Okay.
Okay, that's the way it goes. Then we proceed with the reports and everything else. And right now we have, we have 2, we could use at least 2 more certified vote counters.
Yeah, we have Linda, Dan's
Okay, all right.
wife, is gonna help.
All right, and Peter Farron has been doing it for years, but we really could use 2 more, because there's a lot of votes.
Well, I could get Karen Baker.
Sure.
I've done it in the past, but I'll be running the camera in all likelihood.
I'll ask her.
All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just writing some notes. All right, any questions on the annual meeting?
You have enough proxies?
Not yet.
Still coming.
Need beaucoup.
You need many?
Many. Last time, you know, I guess because of the insurance issue and everything else, we literally got hundreds via the emails. I've gotten none this time, or maybe 3 by email. But we're plugging along. I'll have a count later. My last count was about 180, which is about 100 short.
Whoa.
Maybe another.
You want me to
blast?
send another email out?
Can't hurt.
Can't hurt, yeah.
Certainly appreciated.
Okay.
And you can mention that you can email there. Yeah.
That's a good idea. All right, so that's takes care of that pretty much. Rest of it's self-explanatory. Then we got the organizational meeting second. Roll call. Because we didn't have anybody running for the palm tree, I get to appoint somebody. I have had one person ask me about it. In fact, she asked after the deadline, and that's Karen Baker, so that's probably who I'm gonna put in there. She's an outgoing person.
And your suggestion has to be ratified by the board.
Yeah.
Steve, that's banker, isn't it?
Yes.
Banker.
had that happen one time. The president nominated somebody and the board said no. You weren't happy. Nobody was happy at that meeting.
Sound like the president might be in trouble.
Here?
Not here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I mean, does anybody else have any suggestions? If she's the only one that's come forward, then I'd rather appoint somebody who's from that
Who wants to do it?
blue village.
I'll talk to a few people. I'll talk to a few people. It's okay if they're part-timers or snowbirds.
Yeah. I'd rather
I'm
have somebody
sorry.
here all the time.
No.
I call them part-timers.
She's a break.
Yeah, that's not as much of an issue anymore.
Oh,
Not the Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's helped out a lot with the picnic and
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that. And election of officers. Hey, anybody volunteering for mine?
That's a good one, Steve.
You're doing such a great job.
What a comedian.
Oh, yes.
What a comedian.
A great
Yeah.
job, Steve.
I heard something about in perpetuity.
Where's the?
We'll, I guess, reappoint the committee chairs, or in case anybody wants to dive out. And that'll be that. That's a quick meeting.
They're not allowed to die.
All right, now the regular meeting.
And of course, the regular meeting then will have the elected people as part of the meeting at that time.
And I didn't mention, Dan ran unopposed, so Dan will be joining the board.
Great.
All right, regular meeting. All that, my comments. Regular meeting, treasurer report. You got just normal stuff?
Do normal stuff, yeah, and also I followed up on the, just so everybody knows, we got a notice yesterday. One came to me and I think one came to you
Yeah.
from a lawyer that there's unclaimed funds for Wildewood Springs with the state of Florida, unclaimed funds. The one that came to me is for $3,600 and change. And if you want the lawyer to go take care of it, he'll charge us $600. So actually, I'm familiar with how this whole process works
That's
from my
crazy. Mine
from my
was
old job.
$158 on my letter from my
Was it?
lawyers.
Well, when
Different
I,
lawyers, they just grab it and they send it. You know, they want a chunk, but mine.
was yours to do with our, because the other
It's
one
the
I looked
same
up on the site was, oh, it's the same one.
Same
The
one.
other one is
Just a different lawyer.
Wildwood 2B, and that's only $31, so that's whoever that is out there. So anyway, yeah, I talked to Unclaimed Funds this morning, and I'll need a copy of the utility bill, and I'll submit it.
Does it say why there's unclaimed?
It's from,
Infinite Energy.
it's a refund or a
I must be,
rebate.
they said they tried to get in touch with us, but nobody's tried to get in touch with us.
Well, it could be something that got mismailed, or it came in and
What
got
was the
lost in the
company?
just the check
Infinite
never got
Energy.
deposited.
It's-
So it
It's
goes
the-
into
it's the
an
pipeline.
account with the state?
Yes, yes. So,
It's the pipeline charges from the wellhead to the delivery point, excuse me.
Of gasoline or?
has to do with
electricity?
gas,
I mean gas?
No, natural gas,
natural gas.
Natural
yeah.
gas.
for our pools.
Very good.
Oh,
So we'll take it.
that's pleasant, yes.
Definitely.
So when that
That's-
money,
So you don't go through the lawyer, you're going directly.
Oh, directly, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through lawyers if you get these notices. In fact, if anybody, just so you know, if anybody in your family's passed away, whatever state they domiciled, and go, look up the unclaimed funds in that state.
yeah, I've been in there, yeah.
So you'd be surprised what you may find.
Now, if that money comes in, if it's a real, and it's legit and everything,
It's real.
where does that money go to?
Operating.
Operating?
Operating.
You just, when you go to unclaimed funds, do you just go to the state?
On their
Website?
website, you submit a claim, a notice of claim, and then they email me a form, which they did, and I'm filling out the form, I had questions, because we're a nonprofit, and we don't have an annual report, so I needed to find out what we could send them in lieu of that, and they said I could submit, from the webpage, print out the officers that verifies I am the treasurer, that's claiming the funds on behalf of the association. The check will be made out to Wildwood Springs, not me, just so you know. But somebody's got a person has to claim it, so it goes with my license and a utility bill verifying the name of the association and the address, so. And then we'll see if they have questions, they'll call me, if not, well, hopefully we'll get a check. I don't know how long this takes, but we'll
More
see.
good news.
Yeah, every little bit helps. Every
Yeah,
little bit
and your
helps.
percentage?
I'm free.
We'll put that on the bathroom wall.
All right.
She's writing it in the bathroom.
I know.
Financial
Guys
statements,
just smirk.
reserve investments, you can probably be quick about that, because most of them will get that in the earlier meeting.
Yeah, this meeting usually doesn't take that long
Yeah.
because so many of the reports have been rendered at the annual meeting.
A lot of people will be gone by this time. Some of them bail right after
I'd
the
love
annual
that
meeting.
Mass X. I
Okay.
just have to be done by like 2:45.
That's not
Chance of
happening.
that.
Well, I gotta get billed to a therapy session.
Alright, legal problems, old business, building repairs. Anything we need to touch on here, John?
No,
So,
other than the fact
walkways.
that April 8th will be the walkway start. It also will be the tentative date to do the seal coating on that Monday, April 8th, after Easter.
Okay.
And the reason that the insurance package is on there is due to the fact that, just to tidy it up in front of everybody, but today Steve signed the proposal of acceptance, and I've submitted a request for a check for the $191,000, and that will be sent to them by the time the meeting started.
Is that payment in full, 191,000?
Yeah. 891.
Yeah, you said, I think you said 100.
Did I? 891,000.
I heard it too.
I do too.
Yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
knew what he meant.
Yeah,
Wish fulfillment,
Well, that's why I asked if that was paid in full.
That would be,
yeah, no, that's in full.
absolutely.
that was such years ago.
Now I get my thrill of the year to sign that check.
Yeah.
Okay, cable and internet.
Just on there because we're gonna have future discussions, but I don't wanna let it get lost in the,
On that, where are we on touring the facility at, is it Hotwire?
Unless we plan on going that way, I'm not interested in taking that trip.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about a little bit about that here now? We've got 3 proposals.
Yeah, we can. I mean, so far, I mean, you know, between the 3 proposals, I think Spectrum sort of,
Right, but I don't know if we've ever talked about it in this group. So I'll talk about it.
yeah, go.
I took the 3 proposals and I laid them out,
Yeah.
one next to the other, to the best of my abilities, I understood them. And because of the way Spectrum's proposal was written and their need to do work here, which is significantly less than if you went with the other guys, because they have to go a year of planning and cable and all that. I came up with significant dollar savings over the life of the contract by staying with Spectrum. It starts with Spectrum reducing our cost immediately, effective whenever we sign this
18
contract on,
months
if
prior
I'm
to
right.
the end of our
Yeah, so it
contract.
could be June or July, whatever the first date
confirmation
is.
is June 30th, if we sign in April.
Yeah, so we could immediately start. The rest of it is that since they're making this, I think it's a 5-year deal from the time we sign it, it's really only a 4-year extension to us.
3.5.
Or 3.5-year
Yeah.
extension to us, because they're starting immediately. So we're not signing a 10-year contract, we're not signing a 7-year contract. We come back to this again in about 3 years,
Yeah.
or whatever it is, okay?
Well, actually, probably more like 2.5.
Well,
because
whatever
they need a
it
year
might be,
lead time.
and
Yeah.
the proposals will be out, you guys can read them whenever you want to do this, I'm just
Yeah.
summarizing this thing quickly. Over the life of the contract, I've come up with at least a $400,000 difference in cost, savings to us, whether you can call it whatever you want, savings, not expending as much, cost, savings and costs, but it's a $400,000 difference over that period of time, which in this, and over those years is pretty significant to a group like us. So unless we come up with stuff that counters any of this, that we don't know about at the moment, I'm inclined to say we go with them and go as quickly as we can so we can sort the savings as quickly as we can. But that's up to the board to discuss and whatever.
One other thought, I think maybe we go back to Spectrum and ask them for one DVR per.
They were supposed to get back to us with some other options.
Yeah, they did. They came back and they gave us Cinemax and HBO.
Oh, don't
Free.
they have Disney now
Free.
too?
Yeah, for free.
For 5 years.
But didn't your contract over at Ironwood, didn't they have the one
We
DVR?
had 2 DVRs.
Two DVRs. So I think if we
Every
should go
unit
back
had
and ask
two
them.
DVRs.
I'm paying
from
for my
Spectrum.
DVR right now.
Why not?
Can't hurt, I mean,
Yeah.
but we would have given you the updated stuff had we realized it was really gonna be discussed
Keep
here.
Cinemax, but
Yeah.
give us the DVR.
No,
Well,
take a vote.
take
Well,
HBO and Cinemax.
the other part of this, when you get into the details of the contract, there's an option there to change your equipment. And that, by going to the other equipment, you have the effect of a DVR. As I understand it, they can say that that's correct. But that's the way I understand it, because we're talking about taking out cable boxes if you choose, and using the online stuff that you just plug into your TV.
Would that be similar to say something like Roku?
That's
or-
what
Yeah.
that's my
If you
understanding.
have that.
Yeah,
too,
2
right?
boxes
my
or streaming
understanding,
box,
yes.
which was the Roku,
Okay.
etc.
Okay,
And
And
it stays
voice.
up,
Yeah.
the stuff then stays there for, I forget how long, 6 months, I don't remember what he said exactly, but it's there, and in effect mitigates the need for,
6
I'm a
months.
DVR guy, we don't watch anything live, okay?
yes,
And I'm going to the Roku thing if they got it, pretty sure about that,
yeah.
For those who don't want to go to it,
yeah.
I think we ought to throw it back and say, listen, this will pretty much close the deal if you throw in a DVR.
The DVR
Oh, I'd
option.
love to get rid of that box that's sitting there, the DVR box, because we have Roku on all the TVs, so
You can do whatever you want.
I
Those
know I
who
will.
might like to
I got rid of all
continue
the
with their
other boxes.
DVR.
The only box we kept was the DVR.
Because they said that was $12.99 per month for the DVR option.
I know, that's what I'm paying.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people will do away with it anyway, so why not see if we can get it for free? Tammy, or Tiffany.
Thank you.
I got Tammy on my mind, she was talking.
Sorry.
I understand. So I really love the cost savings that we could get with Spectrum. It sounds like a really great extension, especially for a short term to kind of kick the ball down the road a little bit. But I did ask around my community just to see what people thought about it. And I had a surprising number of people say that they'd rather pay for the hot wire fiber now, since we're being offered free installation of the infrastructure. And they mentioned things like, well, it's just going to be more expensive in the future. This is a great deal to get the free infrastructure now. And then also complaints that, the coaxial cable infrastructure that we have in the community right now is aged, and a lot of people are having breaks in their lines. One person I talked to can't get connection in their guest bedroom. They've had tons of service people come out, all of the troubleshooting, but deduce that the lines just aren't good anymore, and that the infrastructure would have to be rerun. Another person had a similar complaint that they have to reboot their system almost every day, and the techs have said that it's probably just shorts in the wires in the aged infrastructure. So I had a good number of people that said that they were ready for an infrastructure upgrade, and that they'd prefer to pay the extra to get that done now with fiber than to continue suffering through Spectrum. So I love the cost savings with Spectrum. I personally wouldn't mind continuing with Spectrum, but I thought it would be important to bring those opinions to the board.
I'm getting similar replies from my people too.
That's good to know.
Are we gonna have another meeting on this where we can vote on this situation?
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to vote on it. I mean, we have to make that decision, what, by
Do we have one
April?
scheduled yet?
What if we did a, via whatever you do, your techie stuff, sent out a mini questionnaire to the unit owners about, give them some information, about the savings now for 5 years versus, 3.5, okay, 3.5.
But technically it is.
I
I
get-
mean,
no,
we're
I
getting a
agree.
whole new price.
Yes.
$10 less
Yes.
per unit per month.
Right. I mean, I'm personally leaning with what Marv's, discussion was, because it's only 3.5 years, and we can visit the fiber optics at that time. But right now, with the light of the insurance and the trash removal, we can get that savings to help pay for these increases right now, and still give the unit owners back as much money as we can in the last 2 quarters of the year. So,
A little survey that we could,
a little survey, just to get a feel for what are people leaning towards, and we
Well, we
could.
need to give them some information on it too,
Yes.
not just say, hey, you want this or
The
that.
top issues of each one of them.
Here's why we think,
Right.
The highlights of each one of them. What's Blue Stream offering, what's hot wire, and what's Spectrum.
Mark, you've got that sheet spread,
Yeah.
could you give that to Chris so he can put that out? Just to make sure everybody
I think
gets
it's
it.
gotta be,
Summarized.
it's gotta be summarized a bit, it's gotta be reworked a bit to, it was what I did for me,
Yeah.
okay? But of course, I can
Put something simple together.
try. Well, I'm gonna,
Or
if
get
I'm gonna
together
do
with
that,
Chris.
if I'm gonna do that, Barbara's gonna look at it first.
Okay.
It's not gonna just have my name on it.
Do we have any savings by continuing Spectrum long-term? Are there any savings in going with hot wire?
The continuous
Yeah.
spectrum is the huge
Yeah.
savings, 400,000
Yeah.
over the next 3.5 years.
That includes the kickback amount.
I'm just trying to pull it out to 15 years.
They
what,
both have that.
what is the
They all have that.
kickback amount?
Oh, they all have that, it's all part of the contract.
I know.
Well, one's
139 on
139
I don't have it with me.
for the two, to the
hot
two
wire,
fibers,
yeah, two
and-
fibers.
and 125 for Spectrum. But you're,
But with that for-
now that Spectrum is offered $53 a unit a month, that means that the cost for the fiber optics people are up to $69 and $72. So this is this, a little bit of
Significant
$14, $15 difference.
per month,
If they all stayed the
Per
same,
month,
that'd be
per
one
unit.
thing.
Yeah.
per month, per unit.
Yeah, per month per unit, so,
And being tied down with
suggest-
Spectrum another 3.5 years is not that big a deal.
exactly.
I suggest making it as simple as possible.
You think?
Just take a survey and see.
I have a question for Tiffany. Those people say that they have to reboot their system every day. Do they ever call Spectrum?
Yeah, no, they've been through it all and it's been ongoing, but because
Can you give us those
everyone
numbers
has-
so we
Yeah.
can give them a spectrum?
By the way, are they calling the
Sure.
right number? Because I discovered at Spectrum's
Yeah,
presentation,
yeah,
I
they
didn't have the
called
right
them
number.
versus,
They've
yeah.
had texts out on many occasions, and it's not Spectrum's end of the system, it's the wiring that's going through the buildings is that old.
So it's in-house,
So it's,
it's the in-house stuff,
our
not the stuff in the
problem.
ground.
I wouldn't think so. I would think that Spectrum installed it, or whoever did.
Maybe
Well, some was
so.
installed by Verizon.
I mean, it was probably way back when.
We had Verizon.
We had Verizon. Before that, we had Time Warner.
Yeah.
When I first came here, it was Time Warner.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was Bright, wasn't it? Hasn't it always
Then it
been
was,
Bright
House.
House?
no, then it was
Bright
Bright
House.
House.
Okay, okay, one question.
Which
Yeah,
became Spectrum.
Going with Spectrum, I like the idea, and I like the other way, but if we do go with Spectrum, it would seem that they could have one person that some representative from Wildwood Springs would contact, and that person have to follow through on all these issues. We shouldn't have to follow through on these issues. It shouldn't be our issue, it should be theirs. So if they could assign somebody to here, and all the complaints go to that one person, that person's accountable for making sure they all get fixed. We shouldn't have this headache, so
Sure,
rebooting.
sure.
They should have the headache.
We used
when
to
it-
have that.
No, we had that with them, and they disabled the whole department, so they actually said they will not do it. Yeah, I mean, we actually had her, and she would come in here once a month, and we'd sit down, and we'd talk about issues and everything like that. It was she was great. She had it for 4 years. And then she came in one day and says, oh, last time I'm seeing you, they just wiped out, or there'd be no more customer relations department.
But as a reason for signing this contract, they're gonna clean up stuff,
Oh, I've already talked to them about that, and I said, why aren't they here now?
right?
And, oh, we're working on it.
And these issues of Tiffany's friends can be
Has
on
to
that
be,
list.
yes.
Yeah, if we can get numbers, maybe John,
Yeah.
on the next call.
Well, let's not kid ourselves, 5 years from now or 4 years from now, it's probably gonna look sloppy again, because that's what they do. We know who we're dealing with, okay? So this is a financial thing, basically.
Where's Gus?
And so we get them to clean it up now and do the best they can do, and get it clean to our satisfaction while we have them
Yeah, that's what.
before the contract
Do it now.
starts.
While we
And
have
then
them.
recognize we stay on top of them, but they're probably gonna let the ball loose, because that's what they
Make
do.
another call to them.
Well, I agree there. The fact is, I think we're writing the contract here, so let's put in all these statements that we need from that contract, and if at the 5th year they drop somebody, that's somewhere we're gonna have a penalty. So, I think the biggest problem is we're not asking or giving them a defined, or maybe we're not giving them a defined, specific requirement for the amount of money we're paying everybody.
John, they cannot offer us anything officially until April 1st by their corporate guidelines, okay?
I see.
So,
Yet they already offered us.
well, they're telling us what they will offer it, but it's not on the table as of right now.
It's still another call to say,
Oh, yeah,
we have got nothing done since we talked.
I'm about to do that,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Ask them about the DVR and
Yep. We'll do that.
if we can get any
Well, that's
service issues.
interesting information. Thanks for that breakdown, Mark.
Sure.
Yeah, oh, you hadn't seen that, huh?
His breakdown.
I didn't disseminate, I just gave it to John.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Any other discussion on that at the moment?
If I might,
Sure.
one of the things that it would probably be important for us to do, we've done this before, where we identified units that were having a lot of problems. And I believe the last time we did that, there were only 10 or 12 total in the whole association. But if Tiffany's got a couple, and it wouldn't hurt the rest of the board members to maybe check in your neighborhoods and have a list of
Give us a
ones
list
that
of numbers.
are a problem, and when we talk to Spectrum, say, these need to be fixed.
I love that.
Seems to be
Yeah,
two,
just
it could
email
be in
me.
just different villages.
If anybody gets
I have
any
nobody in
feedback
mind.
that they want to, just email me, like Tiffany's gonna do, and then we'll
Doing it right now.
transport it, yeah.
Because you know when we change the hot wire or to whatever, we're gonna have getting issues with that too.
Yes.
And this gives them a couple more years to maybe get rid of a lot of niches. So that's another thing to think about, because I think Gus said, yeah, it was Gus that was telling me that when they changed over up north, that they had just a ton load of problems in the beginning. And you have that with anything that's new, but maybe they get rid of some of those problems. Okay, so we need to put that on the agenda for April meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Probably, hopefully, maybe get it.
That will be there, because
Yeah.
say if we sign in April, they need 2 months to make the changeover, so our first reasonable, our first
Okay.
reduction would be July 1.
Okay, well, let's get those things into them, and then in April.
Can I ask a question here in regards to the future and fiber optics and stuff like that? I think I heard Mark say that the cost would be like 400,000 or some number like that if we went with the
savings.
future type thing. Is that kind of a number that
That's a
we're throwing in
savings.
there to get the fiber optics?
No, John, that was savings. By staying with Spectrum, we're gonna save $400,000 over the next 3.5 years.
I see. But is Spectrum going to give us fiber optics too?
No,
No.
Okay, so basically a choice, one of the choices, do we want to go with fiber optics or can we stay with the present system based on the amount of money that they're costing? Is that right?
That's exactly right.
But just keep in mind, one thing Spectrum said was they are bringing fiber optics up to the front door. And that's probably them placing themselves for a future fiber optic transition, who knows, you know?
well, only wanting a 5-year contract, obviously they know that they're
Yeah,
They know that's their
somewhat
future.
behind,
Yeah.
you know.
They know that's their future. They know what's going on.
Right,
I think they're bringing it maybe to the pedestals, but not in.
not in.
And the log jam is the wiring going in anyway.
If I remember rightly, the speed that Spectrum's offering us is much faster than the speeds that the fiber people are offering us at this point.
Not on the upload.
Not on the upload.
The upload, you're right, would not be as fast as the fiber, but the fiber people are offering us 200 to 300. Spectrum's offering us 900 on download.
Yeah.
That's much better.
through the current coax.
Yeah.
I
The
thought it
other
was,
thing to remember is we're not being locked into a 10-year deal.
Yeah.
It gives us time to sort of like kick the can down the road for 3.5, 4 years and see what's going on with the fiber optics in the industry and everything at that point.
I have a suggestion. I'll redo the numbers, I'll make them as simple as I can and understandable. Somebody else go through the contract, the proposals and compare the offerings. Same way. Speed, equipment, whatever it is that you're talking about. So, because I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
I was planning on doing that.
There you go. There's our volunteer.
Finally
Good man.
get to it.
Good man, Chris.
Spectrum had said they would do fiber to the node and then coax into the community. That's what was said. And as far as the gigs, it was, the speed up was 1 gig. Is what I have written here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like to me one of these days it's going to be to their benefit to go to fiber optics too. But thank you guys for going out.
John,
You're
pay
way
attention.
behind.
Pay attention, John.
Where do they consider the node to be?
The street.
To the street.
The
Well,
street.
it's at the street now.
The street
That's-
entrance to
Yeah.
Wildwood.
Yeah,
All right.
it's there now.
So they're setting themselves up for,
They have to.
Yeah, they have
Stay
to.
the hell
they
on.
have to, they know it.
They
So they're
have no
setting it up
choice.
so
Yeah.
that they can offer us fiber optics next time probably.
Yeah.
Which is 3 years away.
Okay, well, Marv and Chris will take care of that and then you can send it out and we'll just get some opinions. It's, still gonna be our vote. All right, events.
The events we're talking about is the Spring Fling and the Dennis's production. And now they're talking about a third show. But the board's approved the Spring Fling on the 16th and the singing show on the evening of the 22nd.
March.
March or April?
March.
Okay.
March.
What's the name of the singing thing? Does it have a name?
That same, no.
No.
It's
Oh,
the same,
singing thing.
it's the same lady that sang last year.
It's,
No,
it's,
no,
it's,
it's
no,
a
it's
new
that,
one.
it's that
That's a new one?
family.
Julie.
Oh,
Isn't it the family from over across the way in Spring Lakes?
What's the guy's name that's
No.
running it?
No, it's a lady who plays pickleball with us who sang down at Woody's.
Oh, at Woody's roof?
Yeah.
Yeah, but wasn't there a guy organizing it? Who's that guy?
Dennis
Dennis.
Lee.
Dennis Lee.
Dennis Lee, he's in 302. And now they've found Dennis was in the office this morning and he talked to, I guess it's Tim O'Connor, who lives in Pinehurst, who apparently...
He played at the picnic, didn't he?
But he Dennis is very impressed with O'Connor and wants to have a special show with him,
Okay.
so.
He really doesn't put us out.
Well, you know, they both want to get paid. I mean, they paid the social committee paid the guy who played at Spring Fling last year $150.
We did?
Well, that was Robert. He
Yeah, and
rents
apparently
it.
he's lined up again for this year.
Yeah, he rents in
Yeah.
our cluster, yeah.
See how much money we have in the funds?
Well, it all depends on what they do on brats and everything.
Oh. Alright.
Shouldn't have to buy new tables though.
That was last year.
So this year's 50-50 will go to the pay for the singers and dancers.
Hey! Alright. Old new business, communications.
Owner requests. I have a request from the owner of 519 Lakeside Drive to have the board pay for all of the damages the owner is responsible for personally when there's a issue. About 4 Sundays ago, when we had all that rain, a seam developed. It was about that long and fingernail wide, and water got into the unit below. Jeff responded and went up on the roof and swished the water away, but obviously water
Has to dry.
had to dry, and there was water already entered into it. We had Manson Roofing out there by 10 o'clock the next morning, and they were able to patch the roof. The owner contends that we should have patched it immediately or put a tarp over it. Number one, you don't put a tarp over a flat roof because it just cuts water, kicks water underneath it. Number two, the material that you use, you can't put on a wet roof. You have to totally dry it, and it just washes away. So if it had been applied that evening with the rain, it would have washed away anyway. Long story short is that the ceiling of the, I guess the bedroom was damaged and came down. We replaced the ceiling and put it back in order. Her responsibility for repairs was to clean up, which is expert water came out and did their normal job for about $2,500. She contends that her mattress should be replaced, maybe her bureau, her rugs. She wants painted. She says she does not want to be out of pocket 1 cent. It's not what has happened in the past. Her contention is that our poor maintenance of our roof caused this. I can't say how she filed her claim with her insurance company because she did it. I don't know. All I know is that somehow they got the idea, the same idea that she has, that the roof has been failed to maintain, and so they denied her claim, which she pays for insurance. She had $2,500 deductible, and so now that claim could raise as high as $6,000, $7,000 because anything that she has to do on her own. So she's threatening to sue the association, and so she asked me to come before the board and to see if they want to give her any relief on the expenses that it's her responsibility to pay.
Have you received the official denial letter from the insurance company?
Yes.
Is there a reason stated on there?
Yeah,
as to the
the
denial?
poor maintenance of the roof. They come out and took some pictures.
is this something that has to be taken care of in our meeting, or can it be taken care of our next meeting?
No, we have to take care of it now, John, because she's suing us.
I think if we go back to our rules and regulations, insurance is covered from paint to paint, and that goes from one side of the building inside to the other side, but it doesn't cover coming through the roof, etc.
No, it doesn't.
That's the way
Our attorney has advised us to follow our declaration and says you fix the problem, which we did the roof. And now because we've seen other issues in the roof, we're having Manson come out and put a general cover over that whole part of the building. Okay? So that's number one, so these small splits can't happen again.
Well, I mean, there's nothing to substantiate permits, so.
No.
Yeah.
She's
How can
put an
we-
official records request in to have us take a look at what we've done there, you know. They had a small leak 2 years ago, I think. It's the only issue over that roof. But, you know, our attorney and our insurance agent is basically saying, follow your documents. If she wants to file a claim against the association, have her file the claim, and then we turn it over to our liability insurance.
Yeah.
If we step out, I mean, it's a great precedent to set if we start giving,
Yes.
I mean, it's almost discrimination. She's saying we're discriminating against her because we give free things all the time, and we give a fan here, or we give that. That's not the case. It's rare. If it is, it was mistakenly done. Yeah.
Did we pay for the roof repair and also to make her indoor room?
Oh, yeah, we paid $1,400 for
We
fix
paid
your
all
ceiling.
that.
Yeah.
We paid for the roof, or the roof patch, and then we also redid her drywall.
That sounds pretty good.
Well, I have to
As the
say,
documents call for.
I have to say that I'm remiss in this because a total roof ceiling didn't need to be replaced, but she had a special type of popcorn ceiling that should have been her responsibility, but since we were in there doing it and our guy who does that could do that, I matched it for them, so we actually stepped over the line by giving her more than what we should have.
I think you've done your job, John.
Well, I mean, I would personally prefer we follow our lawyers, the association lawyers' recommendation,
I prefer we follow our documents.
which is following the documents,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, she has contacted our insurance company, and they told her, first of all, after talking to our attorney, I talked to Mary Ann, and I said, Mary Ann, your process is going to be the following. You get your bills together and present them to me for filing a claim for the association. She said, well, I don't know if I want to do that. And I said, well, she said, I want my bills paid now. I don't want to have to wait. Right now, she's got a $2,500 bill with the water cleanup people, who she asked them to send the bill to us, which I rejected. And I told her, put them together and we'll file the claim for you. She says no, so she called our insurance agent. And our insurance agent and their claims department said, put your papers together and give it to the manager, and the manager files the claim. She doesn't want to do that.
That answers that.
What's her logic for not wanting to do that?
Oh, I'm not sure there's much logic involved, other than the fact that she doesn't want to pay anything, and she feels that it's everybody else's responsibility to pay for her damages.
Well, and that's fine, if that's what she thinks, but if the advice from our attorney and our insurance company is that she needs to submit those, it seems to be...
Well, that's their stance.
Well, that seems to be the easiest way to get it done to begin with, directly.
You haven't talked to her.
Yes. In the past.
In the past.
Well, I mean, she doesn't want to follow the process. There's not much we can do about that.
She
so.
called the insurance agent's administrative assistant 6 times yesterday.
That borders up.
Well, pretty soon they're gonna block her number.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, we're online. I'm sorry, John.
This is that she would even call our insurance agent. That should go through you. You call our insurance agent. Having each one of our owners calling this insurance company is ridiculous. That's why we go through, Wildewood Springs management, period. But beside the point, that's all outside the square. You've done your job. We followed our guidelines, and the lawyers told us what to do. I think you're right there. We're done.
Okay. Doesn't even have to be on the agenda for the meeting itself. You're duly processed here. But if you want to talk about it in front of, and open on Monday, we'll leave it on the agenda, whatever you'd like to do.
Is
Well,
that a
when you say
privacy thing?
I'm sorry.
Is that a privacy thing?
What is it?
Is it what?
Is that a privacy thing?
No.
No. Just checking.
No, I mean, because if anything, you show the rest of the owners that you're following your documents.
Can I just ask you though, is there something we should vote on Monday?
No.
I mean, because she's asking the board to approve paying for her expenses directly, and we're saying, and you're asking for our decision,
You certainly
basically.
could make a motion to the fact that you're going to follow our documents and statutes.
No, is that something we need to do
Well, I
as
think
part
would
of
probably be a good idea.
the current, okay.
Just say we're going to follow statutes and documents in our decision, and not to.
Per recommendation of our attorney. Right.
Yeah, per the recommendation. Yeah, let's leave it on and do it that way. That's good.
Excellent.
Well, I mean, that's in fairness to her, because she is asking you to present it to the board, and
It's been presented.
right.
So now it will be on. Okay.
Okay.
You haven't gotten any other communications?
No.
The day is young.
That's right.
I didn't say that.
Monday's a
sorry.
long way away, isn't it?
Unless you have something to add to the agenda. I left it blank there in case.
Standard stuff.
I'd like to have all the pollen blown away.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, far away.
Is that the gold trees or the
No, oak.
fine
The oak.
pollen?
You're saying you want all the pollen in your patio? No, I'm just confused
One
about.
on your patio.
They're having somebody call me. I got all the way through everything, and then it said error.
So
Generic error.
even after we left, you still couldn't.
I worked on it for 2.5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
So they're supposed to have somebody call me. I haven't heard from them yet.
What's that?
Heck, this stuff.
No. Never mind.
Never mind.
Well, all right.
Anything else? Chris?
John, you probably should introduce, there's two new people out front.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Thank you. You mean Mary Clapper
Who's here today, right?
is here Monday through Wednesday, and Mary Ann Makar will be here Thursday and Friday. Both retired professional type ladies that I think is going to be an interesting job sharing experiment. They do bring professionalism. Mary has worked for the Manatee County as a supervisor in water and sewer department for 19 years. Marion Makar has been the chief circuit court judge secretary for Manatee County for the last 15 years. Mary Ann Makar also has owned here for 23 years. Never lived here though. She rents it. I think it's going to be interesting. We lost. Cynthia left, I guess, is the word. Valentine's Day, she was here, and the next day she wasn't. And I haven't seen her since.
That's more or less abandonment of.
Kind of that's the way we look at it.
So that there will be no unemployment.
I mean, we were
benefits.
looking. Yeah, that's exactly right. Any unemployment will be challenged because we were looking because she missed 9 days, regular days, before that,
Just 'cause.
without telling anybody.
Yeah, no call, no nothing, wouldn't respond when you called her.
Would it be nice
show
to,
up.
through an email blast, to introduce our two new ladies so that nobody's surprised?
It's a good idea.
People like surprises.
Plus,
No, I'm just kidding.
in addition to that, we're doing a page in the newsletter that's gonna have pictures of all the staff. and management.
But people be coming in here before that.
Yes, no, I agree.
Yeah, no, we certainly can do that. Unfortunately, that falls on Chris's shoulders
I
right
know,
now.
I'm
'cause,
sorry,
Again,
Chris.
sorry.
We've tried to take, I had been under the impression that we'd taken a lot of work off his shoulders, but apparently Cynthia was giving it right back to him. So we gotta get to our point of getting that work off from him.
And since Catherine has a full-time job now, right?
Yeah, she's still working with the calendar, but that's about it.
So I have some news blasts coming up about the newsletter. I'll send to you too, just in case, but I guess you'll take it. Okay, run with it.
Good. All right. I guess we're done.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.